Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to Star. Happy birthday to me. Today is my birthday, and it's another day, and it's another opportunity for you to recognize your star power too. Let us resonate in the starlight. I'm podcasting. Let us relish in the sun, and let us relish in the energy that we need to continue on. I want to tell you that you can do anything you put your mind to, and you should know that without apologies. Let's get to what we talk about every day, the mantra of the podcast, which is yes, you can. Decide you want to learn a new language, decide you want to dye your hair a new color, decide you want to cut your hair, decide you want extensions, decide you want to get braids, decide you want to do a weave, decide you want to get a new car, decide you want to get a new apartment, decide you're tired of apartments and you want to buy something. Granted, right now it probably isn't a good time to try to buy anything because the interest rates are crazy and they just get worse every day. But even if they are bad, there might be a will and there might be a way. It's also a time for you to pick a new hobby. Decide you want to learn how to play chess. Decide you want to play Clue. Decide Uno is your favorite game. Decide you want to make new friends and decide you want to maybe start pickleball. Maybe you do want to get back in a gym and you want to be active and you want to change your life. And maybe you do want to adopt a child and you're ready to start a family and you're ready to do a lot of different things. Well, you know how you can do those things? By telling yourself, yes, I can. Not maybe, no, yes. Moving on from yes, I can is never give up. How are you going to get to the yes, I can if you give up halfway through on your journey to success? How are you going to get there? You're not going to get there. You're going to be very upset because you're going to miss out on the best part of the story, which is typically at the end of it. That's where the happily ever afters exist, at the end of the movie. And finally, why not today? Because if you keep putting things on the back burner and you keep saying, I'll get to that later, you're never going to get to it. I am a very indecisive person, but I have been fighting very hard to fight off indecisiveness and procrastination because it doesn't get you to do anything. I don't like doing things later. I like getting things over with, and I don't like procrastinating on how I'm going to do them. I just like doing them. Like, time is of the essence, and you have to be smart, you have to be wise, and you have to think ahead. I don't know, that's just who I am, and it's just who I'm happy I have become. Why put off today for tomorrow? Why say I'm going to get to something? Why tell somebody I love, I'll talk to you later? Why not talk to them if you have time available right now? Nothing is promised. We need to recognize that. Moving on from why not today, let's get into some of these headlines. And please don't forget your star wherever you are. And thank you for tuning in on my B-Day. When it comes to politics, I'm just starting to just feel like I don't care. I listen to a lot of opinions, right? I listen to Tucker Carlson on Twitter. I listen to Fox News. There's a variety of people that I really like on there. Greg Gutfeld's hilarious. Jesse Waters is okay. And there's a few others that I like. Faulkner and Emily from one of the other shows that comes on during the day. And I listen to a bunch of things, right? Jason, Royce White, a bunch of other voices as well whose names I can't remember right now. Redacted. There's just so much that I'm listening to. We're still talking about Hunter Biden. Like, why isn't the person in charge of the Department of Justice impeached? Why haven't they impeached Joe Biden? What are they waiting for? Now, I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know what Comer's doing, but it needs to come on, man. Like, they're running out of time. In 2022, these people that voted democratically. There was no red wave. Granted, the Republicans got the House, but the Democrats still have the Senate. And you see the stuff that they pass. Currently, they're trying to pass some insanity where they're going to give student loan forgiveness, even though the Supreme Court told them no. They are trying to rewrite the foundation of the United States of America to look the way they want. They think illegally bringing people into this country and allowing there to be an open border is the answer to their problems because they don't have any policy. This is the Democratic Party. It's the party of elite and a party of lies. Now, if you make a certain amount of money in this country, you have to be taxed at a different tax bracket, right? You do. If you make a lot of money in this country, let's just say you're in the top 1%, why would you care about anything that's happening in politics? See, the reason I do this part of the podcast is because I care about the middle person. I care about the person on the bottom. I care about the person that gets up every day and goes to work. I care about the mom and dad that one has to bring their child to daycare or the other one has to bring them to school. I care about the one that he's a construction worker and she works at the hospital at the desk as a secretary. I care about the girl that's a teacher and the dude is a plumber. I more so care about those people, right? Us, right? Because me and my husband both have jobs and we have been working for a long time and we are suffering, not other people. We have saved money, we have been approved for a mortgage, and we can't find anything that we're approved for. We don't want to overbid and we don't want to pay for something that's not worth the value, and there's nothing to buy. Everything is hyperinflated and insane. Why do they get away with this? Why does the elite get to just shove the things that they're doing around in everybody's face? And why is that okay? And why don't people punish them the way they punish others? Do you see how they attacked Donald Trump and they're indicting him again? They just keep attacking him over and over and over again because he called them out many years ago about the idea that we should have never been in Iraq or Iran or wherever it was. Did you see how Joe Biden fudged up Afghanistan? He brought those people into this country during the night. And I'm sorry if I sound anti-globalist. I am. Why are we making deals with people who we shouldn't be making deals with? Why are we promising people that they can come into this country? Why are we promising people that they can take part in relishing in something that's for Americans? What's the point of being born in America if you don't have anything to hold on to anymore? There's a question, right? Now, there's a lot going on here, and there was just another person that came into the two other people that came into the conversation just yesterday, right? The whistleblower, the other whistleblower, and the Democratic Party and the Democrats that are politicians, they really embarrassed themselves yesterday. And they continue to do that because they know what's going on, but they want to deny it and they want to act like Joe Biden's so great, but he's not great. He's never been great. And if you are anyone of color and you're a minority, you shouldn't like him either. He's seriously racist. Not only is he racist against black people, Spanish people, Guatemalans, Native Americans, Jamaicans, whatever race you could think of that's not just predominantly white, he's racist against. The idea that you have to say we're going to help these people. These people can't help themselves. What about all the black rich people and all the black educated people and all the black athletes and all the black financial wizards that exist out here? The teachers, the nurses, the doctors, the rich people, the creators, the talents, the ones that created things that nobody talks about. What about all those people? He doesn't talk about them. And Kamala Harris is not helping at all. Joe Biden should have already been impeached, and so should she. What are we waiting for? Why are the Republicans being lazy right now? It's got me wondering, what could possibly be next here? I mean, I don't know. But there's a lot going on here. There's a strike in Hollywood, and these fucking actresses and directors, and people think that we care. I wasn't going to the movie theater anyway, and I said, And I will say it again in 2017 and 2018 and 2019 that Hollywood was going to go broke, or it was going to have to get smaller, because nobody's going to go to the movie theater and pay ridiculous money. I literally jailbroke my Fire TV so I didn't have to go to the movie theater. If I was willing to do that, and granted I'd do it again if I could find the YouTube video to do it, but if I was willing to do that again, imagine how many other people are not going to the movie theater, are not paying for streaming services. They're legitimately watching everything for free. If you're watching everything for free, why would you pay for it? I think that they've made too many movies, they've done too many things that honestly have failed. And it's all come back to bite them in the ass. Because you keep making all these movies that don't celebrate men being men, don't celebrate the sincerity of kindness, don't celebrate being American, and don't celebrate honesty and truth. And you keep making these movies about all this trans crap. Granted, trans people deserve rights too. I'm not going to say that. And I do believe in equity and inclusion to a limit, right? It can't be forced. It has to be real, and it has to be unique, right? If you want to fit in and you want your time and you want to be a part of it, then the greatest way you could be a part of anything is to just be a part of it and not talk about it, right? That's the whole thing with these people. They just want to be on center stage and they want the microphone about everything. Hollywood has definitely messed up, and I don't think they're getting it back. I think they've dug their own hole, and the casket is open, and we're at the funeral, and there's no way to fix this. The death of Hollywood. And I never thought I'd say this, but I don't care, right? And it's not just me that doesn't care. No one I know cares. My own mom doesn't want to go to the movie theaters. My brothers don't want to go to the movie theater, right? Like, my cousins don't go to the movie theater. Like, and I have a lot of family, and none of them go to the movie theater. They'll go once in a while, but not like that. And some of them live in New York. They don't go to the movie theater there, probably because they're scared that they're going to get shot or stabbed if they go out to the movie theater. They created an environment where they create films and movies, and the acting isn't that great. And why am I going to spend money to see this when I could just wait for it to go on Peacock, Paramount Plus, Netflix, Hulu, any of these options? Honestly. Not only that, but they're attacking a country singer for showing videotape of what's actually happening in reality, and they removed it. And I think we should do nothing but support that man. Go on, like his video, and support him. His name is Jason Aldean. And the idea that the country music would ignore him and remove that video, they're in on it. Which tells me that Christians don't have anything outside of Christian music then. Because for them to turn on him like that is insane. You don't want videos posted of real America where people run outside and steal things and attack you and treat you like you're in an eighth world country. You don't want to see that. You want to lie about it. Is that comfortable? It's annoying, but this is what I'm talking about. I think we all need to go see Sound of Freedom, and I think we need to support that. I think that we need to stop giving these people power. We need to call out Dr. Fauci, who blatantly lied in everybody's face, and he doesn't need to have a car. He shouldn't have a chauffeur, and he shouldn't be paid from anything. The House needs to figure out how he is still at work if he's not at work, and we need to seriously figure that out. Honestly. If it isn't one thing, it's another, and the streets aren't safe. People are lying. They're trying to turn children into test monkeys, and we can't lie about it anymore. It's my birthday, and I don't want to relish on about politics, but I do want it to be heard that I'm not giving up here. The idea is that I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, I don't want to talk about it. Part of me doesn't want to talk about it. Part of me feels like I can't believe we're still where we are right now, and we haven't gotten any further than we were supposed to get, right? We don't have a king here. This is not UK. Why do we want to pretend like we are the UK? The crown got into our schools very easily because they were easy to manipulate and convince. Now you have people saying that they want to take away our First Amendment right openly without cause, which is problematic. They teach us to hate America because hating America helps their globalist view, right? It does. And I don't have anything against any other country in any other part of the world. And I don't have anything against the idea that you have to grow things in the world. I'm not saying you're not supposed to do that. But what I'm saying is the idea that the UK and these people that have failed horribly at their own countries want to have anything to do with America is insane. And I'm saying that it's a problem that America is begging for gas from Saudi Arabia. And I'm saying that it's insane that we have our own pipelines here, yet we want to keep talking about electric vehicles with John Kerry, who got embarrassed in China because they don't want to talk to him. They're buying coal, bro. They have coal all around the area. No one's getting rid of that because that's stupid. We keep coming back to that. Independence is everything, especially with power. And America has lost its power. There's also a border crisis here, which I already discussed. They think open borders is going to save their elections. When people actually come into this country the correct way and they do everything that they're supposed to do the correct way, they don't like the Democratic Party. And that's what they're scared of. They're failing. Child slavery is real. And the Democratic Party is the reason why there is child slavery. Honor among thieves. I think we need to stop acting like the Democrats and the Republicans aren't friends. We need to stop acting like there isn't a uniparty. And we need to stop pretending like these people don't work together not to punish each other. Again, why hasn't Biden been impeached? And why hasn't his son been indicted? What are we waiting for? Clearly, they're all corrupt. Why wasn't Nancy Pelosi impeached with her husband doing insider trading? Okay? Why haven't the majority of these Democrats who come on to the Senate floor with all these insane conversations, why aren't they called out? Why aren't they impeached? Why aren't they fired? Why aren't they questioned? Why don't people come to their house? Why aren't they being investigated? Right? Why doesn't this happen to them? Why does it only happen to Republicans? And why are they attacking RFK? Yeah, he might say some things you don't agree with, but the only way that this country is going to flourish is if we have people that have different opinions. That's the whole idea behind freedom of speech. It's the idea that you don't have to say things that someone else might like. I was listening to something from training from my new job. Well, I say career. And it was talking about having a bias. And I think that I struggled with that because of the environment I was in. Well, listening to this really intrigued me to remove any bias that I had. Like, I'm not going to automatically judge someone based off of if they're wearing jeans, if they're wearing shorts, if they're wearing flip-flops, if their hair is in a bun. Like, I'm getting away from the idea that I think that we need to look at the bigger picture. it's really insane that we don't call this out. And I'm over it. I am over it. I'm tired of people working hard. And then we have to listen to these people in Washington lie to us. Whatever the state you live in, the politician that represents you, do they actually represent you? Because I don't think anyone represents me and my husband, hardworking Americans. The only one that would be the representation of that would be Trump. And look how they're treating him. It's just, back to what I was saying. The thing that I learned in this training that I did yesterday was that you can unlearn to be biased, and you can just give people the opportunity. You don't have to judge the book based on its cover. You could actually read it, which is okay. And I really think that we have to do a better job. I really think that we have to try harder. And not only do we have to try harder, but we have to understand that the only way you're going to be able to exist in a big world like we're in is if you give everyone the same opportunity. Sometimes the people might not be exactly what you thought, or sometimes you might be right. Sometimes you could be wrong. But if we're going to be a excelling country, if we're going to be able to talk to people and have conversations, you can't be so one-minded. You have to be able to open up your thoughts to other people, and you can't just cut people off. And I think I struggled with that with the environment I was in, but now I want people to have different opinions. I like the idea that someone could disagree with another person and then explain why they disagree. Like, I think that's why I've always been so intrigued with law school and studying law and arguing a certain point and public speaking and things like that, because it gives you the opportunity to explain your side of it in a way where you have backup for what you're saying. Honestly, we have to do a better job at that. Moving into the tea of the day, it's my birthday today. So the tea of the day on my birthday is be happy. Let stupid things go, and don't let ugly people stop you from succeeding. And when I say ugly, I'm not just talking about the way they look. I'm talking about who they are. There's a lot of people that are just bitter, angry, miserable, and unhappy. And they let that seep through and show unapologetically. I don't ever want to be that person. I want to be happy. I like my optimism. I like my energy, and I like my push forward, right? I never look behind. I never look in the rearview mirror wondering what's happening. I just move forward. I like my effort and my persistence and my radiance. Being a star means you have to be that every day. Not once a day, but every day. Honestly, I think that we have to do a better job of being happy. I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm also going to hold myself accountable. Laughing and giggling and telling funny stories and enjoying your life is okay. You don't have to always be so serious and miserable. And it's okay not to always have the answers, to mess up, to get up and start again. It's okay to do any of these things. If I've learned anything in this past year, especially with it being my birthday today, it's never to give up. It's you're not going to get to where you're supposed to go. There's always going to be an option, and you're always going to have a second chance. So laugh, smile, live, and dance. And don't ask permission to be. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, let's get into the main part of the conversation, hair talk. So, as you know, as you know, I went and got a, a relaxer. But, like, it's hot. And it rained the other day, and I still haven't straightened my hair again. And now I'm wondering, when should I straighten my hair again? Like, I feel like it was a texturizer instead of a relaxer because it's not as straight as I wanted it. And I watched all these YouTube videos, and I'm not feeling the texture of the hair. But I just got it done like a couple weeks ago, so I know I can't relax it again. I have to wait. So, do I wait 6 weeks and have her touch it up and do it again? Or how do I do this? Because, like, I don't like the texture of my hair. I wanted it to be straighter, and I'm not sure where to go from here. Like, my mom is like, I'll straighten it for you, I'll get it right. But, like, I don't think she understands what I'm saying either. I wanted my hair to be straighter, and it isn't. And I spent money on this, and I'm like, I don't like it. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, maybe if I could find a better straightener, I'd have a different idea. Or maybe if I could find some type of conditioner or something to help me get it straight, I'd have a better, like, take on this. But the reason I wanted a perm is because I wanted something that made my hair easier to do. It's not that I don't love my curls. It's just, they're just not, they're not easy for me to maintain, and I just didn't want to deal with that all summer. So I might have to have a conversation with the hair person and see what she could do. Like, can you do anything to make it straighter? What products can I use to help with that product process? Clearly, I don't want to, like, rip my hair apart, and I did put a lot of blonde in it, and I think that's why she was so unwilling to go as straight as I wanted, because she didn't want to mess my hair up, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, I wanted a look, and I don't have it. So, I don't know. But I'm just going to use whatever I have here and try to see how creative I can be with my hair. I'm excited that it's, like, an easier texture than it was earlier. I'm staying away from colors. I want to do highlights at some point, but I'll probably do that in the fall. Sticking to your first thought. If you have a first thought the first time you think something, maybe that thought is correct. Right? I talked about, like, not being biased and not judging a book by its cover and no media allowed. Well, taking that into consideration with sticking to your first thought, sometimes if you're in a situation and you're working on a project or you're doing something at your job or you're watching a show or you're creating something at home, sometimes your first thought might be the right thought. You might not think it's the right thought because you're in that moment, but maybe it is. Letting go of procrastination. Like, procrastination isn't going to get you anywhere. You can be brilliant and you don't have to care about what other people think. People are always going to be haters, doubters, and tell you what you can and can't do. But being brilliant means you can walk away from that and never look back. No better time to find a new career. If you're not happy with what you're doing, go find something that you like. If you don't like the management, if you don't like the staff, if you don't like the way things are going, there's a better option. I can tell you that because I found it, right? I was very cognizant of where I wanted to be in my career, and I didn't just talk about it. I said it openly, loud, and I said it to multiple people. I knew where I wanted to be, and I made it my reality. I didn't stop. I didn't get it the first time. I didn't get it the second time, but I did get it the third time. Home strike, right? I got it the third time because I didn't stop trying. I didn't see it as defeat that it didn't work for me. And I'm so proud of myself that I kept fighting. So I work at my dream job, man. I made a dream my reality. I fought and I made it happen. I did things that I didn't think were possible at that time, and I made it real. And I'm so proud of myself. And if I can do that, if I can do it, so can you. If you're not satisfied with your career and you have more stress than freedom, then maybe you need to find a new job. If you're not satisfied with what you're doing, maybe you should consider doing something else. I mean, I went from an elderly home to a teacher to working in finance. And I know that might be insane. But I feel like finance is where I'm supposed to be because I have the energy, I have the technology, and I have the savviness to survive in that field. and I have the ability to, the gift of gab, which means I can talk to anybody about anything at any time, which means I'm very successful in this field. I can get people to do things, and I find it fun. If you're struggling in your career and you're miserable and you're not happy and you're going to work and you're like, why am I here? You probably should find a new job. You shouldn't feel like that at your job. You shouldn't feel like you're being smothered or people are grouping up on you or you don't feel like you're being treated the correct way. And if you are being treated like that, you should find a new job. It's not worth it. Now, my mom, I think that you can't get stuck on a career. You can always find another job. If you're not happy and you're not being treated correctly, you should find something else. Now, my mom and my husband's mom might not agree with me, but that's because they were working in a different time within a different generation, and they were able to do things that I don't think younger people are going to be able to do. I'm not going to eat shit and die. Like, I'm not. I don't care. I am smart. I am talented. I'm creative. I'm optimistic. I'm energetic. I am the talent you're looking for, and I'm what people want at their company. If you're not going to treat me correctly, somebody else will. One man's trash is another man's treasure, and I am the treasure, right? I don't have a problem with my confidence. So my mom might have been able to be that person to just sit there and allow things to happen and just be mellow, but I can't do that, and I don't think you should either. If you're not satisfied with your career, find another one. And this hasn't been a better time to find a job. There's jobs everywhere. Have you looked on Indeed? There's Indeed. There's that other one. They're just everywhere. There's LinkedIn. It's just a never-ending, it's never-ending. There's jobs everywhere. You could legitimately have multiple jobs. I was considering doing DoorDash on weekends to pay my student loans, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. How much do you need to survive every day? Well, if you are financially stable, you don't need a lot to survive every day because you understand you can't eat out every day. And if you are going to eat out every day, it can't be every meal. Like, I want a meal service, right? Because I'm busy. I work every day. And when I'm not working, I'm at the gym. And when I'm not at the gym, I'm podcasting. And when I'm not podcasting, I'm reading books and I'm trying to watch shows. And I'm trying to have together time with my husband and my dog and family. And so I'm very busy and I don't want to spend time cooking. So I'd rather pay money to have it delivered. And I know people are like, why would you want to do that? For the reasons I just said. For a busy person that doesn't want to spend 6 hours on a Sunday cooking, great. And I don't want to buy all these meals from the grocery store because the sodium level is horrible and the salt in them is not good. Now, my husband does not want me to get Factor because he says it costs too much money, but maybe I can convince him, maybe to just take a little bit more convincing. I can understand from a budget perspective why he's like, why does she want to do this? Part of me just wants to get broccoli and chicken and just make it every week and see what happens with that. But then again, I don't really have that time to do that with. But maybe I'm the problem here, not seeing it. But I don't think you need a lot to survive every day. You could make your own coffee. You could make your own lunch. Definitely drink water. And definitely have money for gas. Like, plan effectively. Don't go off of what you want. Go off what you need. Be careful trusting in Wall Street alone because I don't think they're saying things that are realistic. I think that we're in a lot of trouble and they're not admitting it. My husband likes to listen to Halftime, and he likes to watch a lot of other CNBC shows, and I like to watch them with him. and I enjoy them, but half the time I can't help feeling like they're saying one thing, but they're probably doing another. So I don't know if they're telling us the truth, right? Because the economy is not doing well. Just because something moved like 1% doesn't mean we're okay. Inflation is horrible right now. And I'm telling you that because I'm living in inflation. I told you about the housing market. This is insane. Breaking news. The House Democrats attempt to but fail to shut down a hearing on big tech censorship. I feel like they wanted to shut that down because they don't want people to know that they had something to do with trying to censor people's things with big tech. Of course they did. Why do you think I got rid of Facebook? Why do you think I don't care about any of the social media platforms? And honestly, if you care about your career, if you care about your longevity and you care about your future, you shouldn't be on them either because it's not going to affect you in a good way. If you're using your Instagram to show pictures of you doing fun things with your family, that is one thing. If you're using this to try to be a political person, that's an entirely different thing. What are you using this platform for? Everything you do is going to be seen by your employer, not just your employer, but everything. Especially if you work at a serious company, what's the point? Like, there isn't any. I don't really miss social media. I haven't been on it in months now, and I'm not going back on. For what? Like, I'm an adult. Like, why do I need to take pictures and have somebody look at them? Like, I could just put something on and ask my husband, do I look cute? Or my dog, right? Or send a pic to my best friend and be like, yo, does this look nice? Like, why am I spending my time wanting strangers to like me? It's not smart. Diversify your money. Because what did I just say? We can't trust Wall Street, so you need to diversify your money. Have some money be in gold, have some money be in silver, maybe have some money be in real estate. Diversify your portfolio. Don't put everything in the Apple, and don't put everything in the Tesla, because at a drop of a dime, those things could go down. Like, be aware of the stock market. Pay attention to CNBC and watch some of these shows. If you can't watch them, DVR them and find somebody who's really smart with investments and talking about these things so you can be aware of what's happening. If you're retired, if you're younger, if you're paying into a 401k, if you're paying into a pension, know where your money is going and be smart. Financial stability is going to lead you to happiness. Not having that is going to leave you into a corner of misery. Let's get into watching things. Abbott Elementary is hilarious. Where's American Horror Story? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it in forever. Shark Tank, I haven't watched that in forever either. Tiny Beautiful Things, that looks good. The Island. Where's All of Us Are Dead? Is All of Us Are Dead not getting a new season because they're on a strike? Isn't that from South Korea? When is that coming out, man? Like, Netflix takes forever to come out with shows that I actually want to watch. Like, I'm still waiting to see the end of Stranger Things. And I feel like I don't know when that's coming out either. I have been watching Is It Cake? And I love it. It's my birthday right now, and that's the show that I'm looking at. Going out for a late lunch and then a dinner with hubby, and I'm just going to enjoy the day. But Is It Cake is pretty entertaining, and I love it. My husband, Skip, likes to guess it, and he's pretty good at guessing it. Benny's pretty good at guessing it, too. But I'm just having fun because the cake looks really good. So it's a fun show to look at. But where's All of Us Are Dead? Like, why don't they give us updates on these shows? Like, the only reason I knew Is It Cake had a new season is because I kept looking at Netflix every day wondering, like, when is this coming out? Moving into food, sheet pancakes. And I know you're like, what is that? So you take the pancake dough and you get a sheet pan and you pour it out on the sheet. You put it in the oven. I'd say anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. Take it out. Boom. You just made a sheet pancake. You could legitimately do anything with that. Bacon, eggs, sausage, whatever you want. Boom. Air fryer meatloaf. So you make the meatloaf, right? You do the ground beef. You do the egg. Use the peppers, the onions, all the seasonings you want. I would even add in the ketchup and some honey just for some texture and flavor, and maybe even a little bit of hot sauce just so it's very good. Mix that all together. Then you can put that in a pan, cut it into pieces, and then depending on how big your air fryer is, you put the pieces into the air fryer and you can cook it in the air fryer. I'd say you could do at least 4 pieces in the air fryer. You want to cook that for about 20 minutes and then take that out. Boom, you've got air fryer meatloaf. Does that not sound good? If you've got the air fryer where you can put the different pans in there, I have that air fryer. You could pretty much just put the whole thing in there. If you've got the one where you have to like pull it out, you have to cut that into pieces. It depends on what kind of air fryer you have. I think you'll be very surprised at how good it tastes, and I think you'll be very surprised at how fast you can make it. Anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes, it'll be done, and it'll be very good and tasty, and I think you'll be very happy. You can add in whatever you want into the meatloaf, too. It doesn't just have to be onions and peppers. It could be jalapenos. It could be really whatever you want. If you want to add in, if you want to do like a Mexican meatloaf, you could add in more of the Mexican vegetables. If you want it to be more Italian, you could add in some garlic. Really, you could add in whatever you want. It's really good, and I think you'll be very happy. Buffalo chicken lasagna rolls, does that not sound good? So obviously, to make the buffalo chicken, you can get canned chicken. You add in sour cream, uh, and buffalo sauce and ricotta, right? You mix that all together in a separate bowl, right? Then blue cheese as well. Then you make sure that you boil the lasagna noodles, but you make sure that you don't completely, they have to be al dente, okay? Al dente. You'll know what I'm talking about. You want to boil them to the point where they're al dente, but you don't want to go further than that because you have to roll this up and put it in the oven. So then you roll them out, you get the ricotta, you pour that on the noodles and the cheese, mozzarella, homemade mozzarella. Well, it doesn't have to be homemade, but it has to be fresh mozzarella. Then you get the buffalo chicken mix that we just said. I told you what to mix together. You do the shredded chicken. You do buffalo sauce or hot sauce. You do cream cheese, sour cream, blue cheese, and ricotta. You mix that all together, and you put that in between the noodles. Then you roll them up. You can make 6 to 10, or you can make even more. Depends on how many you want. I'll see if you want to do 24. I do 12 at a time. Put those in the oven. I'd say anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, checking at about 15 to see how far it's done. You don't want it to burn, but you do want it to definitely cook and be cheesy. Honestly, I would pour mozzarella on top of all that to make sure it's cooked. Then you want to start your sauce, right? So for your sauce, you can make your own sauce, or you could get my favorite sauce, the vegan sauce that's in the grocery store. I think it starts with an S or something. I think that if you want to just get creative, you just chop up some Romano tomatoes, get some peppers and some onions and some garlic, shove that into your KitchenAid blender, boom, mix it together, put that in a pan, add cheese into it, start stirring it into one pan. Then after the 15 to 20 minutes is done with the pasta, take that out, put that in the sauce, let it cook for a little bit, and serve. Done. How good does that sound? Who doesn't want to eat that? If you don't even want to use the sauce in the pan, you can just put the sauce back in the oven with the buffalo chicken lasagna and let that cook like that. But honestly, I'd add hot sauce in the sauce, right? Because you want the appeal that is buffalo chicken. Sticky chicken lettuce wrap. It sounds good. There's a recipe for it on Pinterest, so have fun looking for that. And cutting out carbs. Like, if you're going to eat rice for dinner one day, then you can't have rice for another meal during that day. You really have to be smart with how you're eating your carbs, because portion control is everything. Flourless cookies, I don't know about that, but I did see a recipe on Pinterest for it. If you want to try it, I say go for it. It is the end of the pod. Thank you for enjoying my birthday with me, and thank you for tuning in to Born to Be a Star. Don't forget that you are a star wherever you are. You don't have to be biased. You don't have to be mad. You don't have to be angry. You could laugh. You can love. You can live. And you can do that all unapologetically, and you don't owe anybody anything. Some people will tell you that you're wrong. Some people will tell you that you'll never get anywhere, and it's your responsibility to ignore them. You get to decide what you want your life to be. And I encourage you to chase your dreams and not care about what anybody has to say. Because in order to be a star, you have to recognize your light. And I see your light in the darkness, and I know that you are a star just like me. Together, hand in hand, we are going to change the world, and we are going to lighten up the universe and everything beyond that, because we are stars. And I definitely do see your light in the darkness. Don't forget, wherever you are, whatever time it is, that you have the ability to change everything. And I believe in you. Use your star power to change the world, and I'll be right behind you doing the same thing you are. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow on Friday.